This is Luke Paulson, the Catholic Conservative, and welcome to the news of the week for November 2nd, 2024. And if you enjoy these videos, do not forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more. And happy All Souls Day. Ballot box tampering. After the 2020 election, Dinesh D'Souza used cell phone data and security footage to show that ballot boxes were being tampered with. Now, new video evidence shows an incident in Montana involving someone interacting with a ballot box under suspicious circumstances. In the video footage, the individual attempts to remove the box, pauses to make contact with someone, appears to take a photo, and then tries to handle the box again. Workers at these voting stations are strictly prohibited from touching the ballot boxes. Yet here we have someone directly engaging with it. If Laszlo Gendler, who is featured in this footage, were affiliated with the Republican Party, this would be breaking news. However, since he is associated with the Democrats, the media will not mention it. In the context of recent elections, the integrity of ballot boxes has become a critical focal point, and this new footage raises questions about the security measures in place. Burning ballot boxes. Washington and Oregon have traditionally been strongholds for the Democratic Party, holding this status well before the 2016 election. However, recent incidents of ballot box burning in these states are raising serious concerns. Video and photographic evidence shows ballot boxes set on fire, with only a few ballots escaping damage. This destruction appears calculated, and while the motives remain unconfirmed, some suspect these acts may not target the presidential race. Rather, they might be aimed at influencing down-ballot legislative races. Residents in this region have experienced Chaz and defunding of the police, resulting in higher crime rates. They may be feeling an increased need for the party of law and order. Blue state terrorists seem unwilling to risk that shift in voter sentiment. This leads many to question the lengths to which some might go to preserve their political strongholds. Training corrupt workers. Maricopa County faced significant issues in the 2020 election. A technical error prevented many ballots from being processed. Coincidentally, the individual responsible for overseeing this election was also running for office. Now James O'Keefe's team has revealed troubling findings related to poll worker training. In Maricopa, poll workers are being explicitly instructed not to report rule-breaking activities, as they lack authority to intervene. This hands-off approach could allow corruption to thrive unchecked, and this loophole appears intentional. In contrast, officials are instructing strict enforcement against voters who might take a selfie with their ballot, often the only means for them to verify tampering. Corruption within the election system poses a significant risk to the republic, and these new practices in Maricopa bring yet another layer of concern. While local oversight remains controversial, a certain former president cannot just fade into obscurity. Obama's Plandemic. Former President Obama claims that President Trump disregarded a pandemic response plan that his administration had developed. However, despite criticism, President Trump ordered the country to shut down as soon as the pandemic hit. Meanwhile, Speaker Nancy Pelosi was urging public celebrations in Chinatown. Soon after, it was revealed that states led by left-leaning governors were poorly managing the crisis, and that most China virus deaths were largely exacerbated by comorbidities. Further revelations showed that U.S. funding had been connected to the Wuhan lab where the virus originated, and flip-flop Fauci knew about it the entire time. Had President Trump strictly adhered to Obama's pandemic playbook, the outcome would have been vastly different. There probably would have been even more economic shutdowns that would have done absolutely nothing. For many, this only emphasizes the idea that this pandemic's course was orchestrated. While debate swirls around public health responses and how President Trump acted, let us leave Obama in the dustbin of history and focus on President Trump. However, the Mockingbird assets want to take something else out of the dustbin of history. Trump at Madison Square. The Democrats and mainstream media have recently revived their claims linking President Trump to Nazis. Their latest rationale? President Trump's recent rally at Madison Square Garden. Historically, Madison Square Garden has been the venue for countless public events. Among these were Socialist Party rallies in the 1920s, multiple labor protests, anti-Vietnam War demonstrations, and Bernie Sanders, an actual National Socialist. But the fake news seized upon an obscure fact. Madison Square Garden hosted a Nazi rally at one point in history. This, they argue, suggests a link to President Trump. However, this simplistic connection fails to hold up when even the liberal ChatGPT did not think of it at first. The reach to make this association is as clear as it is thin. Now let us move on to the event itself. An island of garbage. At the rally, a speaker made a controversial comment comparing Puerto Rico to an island of garbage. Critics quickly labeled this comment as racist. However, for context, this remark targets issues on the island rather than Puerto Ricans themselves. Many initially suggested Haiti should have been the comparison. However, Puerto Rico has struggled with waste management issues and overfilled landfills for decades. The situation is not unique to Puerto Rico, but it highlights an infrastructure problem that has long affected the island. Yet, the backlash was swift. Sunny Hostin, who lacks a sunny disposition, seized upon the comment, attributing it to President Trump for some reason. She seemed to miss the broader context, but her quick condemnation, like many reactions, seems more about her media stance than the actual issue. She was too busy looking down from her ivory tower, and has probably never even been to the island in question. But remember, you can insult white people all the livelong day, but do not dare to insult any minority. As media outlets turn up the heat, every media outlet has officially or unofficially chosen their preferred candidate. A lack of endorsement. In a surprising move, the Washington Post, on the orders of Bezos, has opted not to endorse any candidate for this election. In fact, this is only the third time since 1920 that the paper has refrained from making a formal endorsement. The previous years when this occurred were 1956 and 1972, representing about 11.1% of the years since their endorsement practice began. Despite not officially endorsing a candidate, everyone knows that their editorial leanings favor cackling Kamala. For many, this lack of endorsement is telling, especially in an election season as contentious as this one. Some are saying that Bezos is thinking only of the money that he could lose, but I doubt that any of his main readership would care if he actually endorsed cackling Kamala. Others are implying that President Trump is using his money to bribe Bezos without evidence. However, it seems that Brandon might need to run his comments by an editorial board in the future. Responding to garbage. During the 2016 campaign, Hillary Clinton infamously labeled Trump supporters as irredeemable and members of a basket of deplorables. Recently, she went a step further, suggesting Trump supporters need re-education. Adding to the insult, Brandon recently referred to Trump supporters as garbage following President Trump's rally. Unsurprisingly, this remark did not sit well with the public. Not even the mainstream media could find a way to spin it positively. Brandon may call us garbage. Cackling Kamala labels us fascists. And crooked Clinton still considers us deplorables. In contrast, President Trump simply calls us Americans. And in a true show of humor, he showed up to his next campaign event riding in a garbage truck. Just to troll the snowflakes. While President Trump clearly has control of his faculties, Brandon does not. Just getting creepier. Brandon has a history of unusual interactions that continue to unsettle many observers. He has previously shared a story about children touching his blonde leg hairs in the pool, which has raised questions about his mental faculties and led to online criticism. Despite ongoing public concern, there has been no clarification from his team on this comment. Beyond that, throughout his political career, Brandon has repeatedly engaged in physical interactions that some find appalling, such as rubbing the shoulders of minors, and on multiple occasions leaning in to sniff the hair of women and girls. These actions have been captured on camera over the years, causing concern among the public, though they are rarely addressed in the fake news. At this year's White House All Hallows Eve celebration, Brandon's behavior raised further questions, where he was photographed nibbling on a baby's toe. This incident, like others, was not addressed or explained by his team. The lack of response has left many to speculate and wonder why these patterns persist without any formal acknowledgement. With the mainstream media largely silent on these incidents, concerned Americans will continue to be left without answers. Maybe I'm just blowing smoke. Maybe I'm completely off my rocker, but that is just my opinion. And do not forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more. But before you go, on the left I have last week's video, but you may also enjoy the video on the right.